guys. So my name is Elena, and I'm originally from former Soviet Union. I grew up there with my sister Yulia, and my biological name is Petrova Elena Vladimirovna. I can't even say that. So you guys practice for 3 minutes, okay? But no, just kidding. So I grew up in the former Soviet Union with my sister Yulia, and we're about 2 years apart. And where we grew up was a very small town, in a very small house, in a very broken house, in the sense that we had a lot of broken windows, and we could not fix them because of how poor my family was. My parents, they go off and they would work all day long, but they never got paid with food or money. They would actually get paid with alcohol. And so while they were off working, it was my responsibility as the oldest to try to take care of myself and my sister. And so each morning we would get up and we would look for our food in our kitchen and our drawers, just anywhere where we can think of. And the only thing we would find was alcohol bottles. So the next logical thing for me was to actually go outside and see what we could find in the nature. And I remember my sister and I, we were just very, very hungry at times that we actually climbed trees and we would eat the leaves off of those trees just so we could have something in our stomachs. And my parents, they would come home, each night, and after drinking all day, they would come home, and my dad was completely drunk. And when he became very drunk, he became very abusive. And so when I was about 8 years old, my parents were caught stealing some items, and so they were put into prison. And myself and my sister, we were put into an orphanage. And being at this first orphanage for me, it was basically a safe haven in the sense that they provided us with 3 things that we really needed at that time. And one of those things, just being able to go to school, learning new things, feeling like a normal kid. That was an amazing experience for me and my sister. The second thing was just the fact that there was someone there at the orphanage to help me to raise my sister, because by the age of 8, I was her mom, I was her dad, I was her protector, I was her provider, I was her sister, I was her friend, I was her, there's just a lot of things that I was for her. And so just having someone there, physical adult, to help me to raise her, that helped me a lot as well. And the third thing, which was my favorite thing, was just the fact that they provided us with 3 meals a day. And like I said, we hardly had 1 meal at the house, so having 3 meals a day, I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy food. Okay, since I've been in America, my favorite type of restaurants are buffets. Chinese buffets are the best. But, yeah, so having 3 meals a day at the orphanage was amazing. I loved it. And we actually stayed at this orphanage for about 2 years, and then after those 2 years, we were moved to our second orphanage. And again, at the second orphanage, we had food, we had caregivers, we had a school, But the thing that we lacked at this orphanage was love, joy, or hope for the future. And when I was at my lowest point, when I felt the most unloved, when I felt the most unwanted, when I felt like a nobody, that is when God provided us a small shoebox filled with toys. And for me and my sister, just receiving shoebox filled with items, that was a miracle in itself, because until that point, we have never received a gift before. We didn't celebrate birthdays or Christmases or any other holidays that we would give gifts for, and so we never got a gift before. And so I got my shoebox, and my shoebox was glorious. I mean, it was wrapped in a colorful wrapping paper. It was bright, it was shining, it was sparkling. It was the coolest shoebox ever. And then I opened my box. And my box was glowing pink from the inside out. The coolest thing about that is the fact that I love color pink, as you guys might tell, shirt, nails, shoes, I'm all covered. I love color pink, and God knew that about me before I even knew that about myself. And so He gave me a shoebox of color pink. And I had pink toothbrush. I loved that thing. I had some socks, they were pink. That was wonderful for an orphanage. In the wintertime, I had a teddy bear. He was pink. He was amazing. I had a Barbie with a pink sparkly dress. Everything in my box was like the coolest pink item I have ever seen. Ooh. One of the coolest things, actually, I got in my shoebox was a small little pan similar to this. Mine was a little bit taller, and it had the fluffies. But then there was a wire in the heart with dingle on it. You guys seen those, right? I cannot find them anywhere. I mean, I tried Amazon, eBay, Walmart, nowhere. But anyway, so this one has to do. And so I had the fluffies. And I mean, this pen was very unique. I've never seen something like this before. So this pen mesmerized me as a kid. And then I had the greatest idea, and I was like, I wonder if the ink of my pen is pink as well. And as a child, I pressed down just to write my name or something, just to see the ink. And as I pressed down, the heart of the pen lit up. And I went ballistic, and I was like, guys, drop everything. Look at my pen. I was the most popular kid because of this pen. For like 5 minutes, that was enough for me. But I loved it. I loved everything in my box that was pink. But the thing that I loved the most was that somebody cared enough for me, and they packed this box specifically for me. When I felt like a nobody, somebody was telling me, you are somebody because I packed this gift for you. I wouldn't just do it for a nobody. I did it for a somebody. And that somebody was me. And so that was the first time I felt like I was being loved by a stranger and I've never even met. But that felt good. And the second thing, which is my favorite thing actually, is this little booklet. It's in my native language, so you probably can't read it, but it's called The Greatest Gift. And each child that receives these shoeboxes, they get this booklet on top of their shoebox in their native language, so they can look at it, they can read it, And so I got this booklet, and I was a reader back at the orphanage. And so I read this booklet, and it was stories about Jesus. First of all, that was the first time I have ever heard the name of Jesus. So I didn't know who he was. And I read this booklet, and it was telling me that there was a creator of everything who came down and he died for me. And I read this, and I thought, this can't be true. I mean, my own parents don't want me. I'm a nobody. I'm an orphan. Why would someone like that do something like that for me? I'm not the most popular person on earth. I'm not the most talented. Why did he do that? He loved me. And I read this booklet, and I thought it was a fairy tale because I could not wrap my mind around that kind of love. But because I had no other hope to hold on to, this booklet became that hope, and I actually started to pray to God for a family that would want me and my sister together, because we were kind of a package deal. And in 2004, he provided that family. And so we were actually adopted into a family in Missouri. And I have been blessed by someone who packed a pink shoebox. And because of that person, I got to hear about Jesus and what he has done for me. And then God used this shoebox to change my life completely. Instead of being on the street selling my body so I could pay for food for me and my sister, I get to travel, I get to speak to churches, I get to just tell them how God has changed my life. And that is what you guys do with each and every one of these shoeboxes that you guys pack. So I am very, very thankful for you guys for packing these shoeboxes, because when I felt like a nobody, somebody told me you are somebody. And not only did I got adopted into my earthly family, thank you to God, but I also got adopted into my heavenly family because God reached out where I was. And so I am very, very thankful for all of you who pack shoeboxes, and encourage you guys to just keep doing it, because there's so many kids that want and need the love that God can give them. So thank you.